Right, so I guess this is like not exactly a devlog thing, but I wanted to record stuff to actually show what's in the engine here. I woke up a couple hours ago and haven't exactly done any massive changes. I was first thinking like, man, I should really try and get the movable object to move by itself just to see how this thing, the reflection, happens to go in real time or something, but I decided I'm not gonna be coding anything for this, but yeah, it looks great for like, I'm not gonna aim for too high standards, of course these reflections are very weird, and I watched a tutorial on reflection probes, and apparently you're supposed to kind of like use them to fake like this sort of illusion of a reflection. Therefore, like with like this sort of stuff, you would, if this was a stationary thing, you would have a local probe so that it would reflect in the correct way. But I don't know, I was trying to figure out how to kind of like replace the fact that it was reflecting this sort of skybox thingy instead of like the environment back, though. Yeah. The only other thing I noticed is that since currently this is like capsule based, you can kind of like jump along the walls and whatnot, but yeah, like this puzzle, the way it would be solved, like, you know, you'd kind of like, you know, enter this area. I really like this effect that the reflection probe, because it has this sort of line to how far it goes, like these can remain like non-reflective, and then you enter the room and wow, and then we'd have like these sorts of pattern things going on, and I could set them like, you know, that the hallways have a more straightforward kind of like, it just keeps moving in a single wave, and that's the only pattern the hallways have. Also, the hallways can act as these sort of like zones where this area would get unloaded when you walk in here, and then it would save up on resources. So yeah, because like currently this is running at very high FPS, which is like, I'm surprised, like given the fact that there are reflections and whatnot, but then again I'm not so surprised because apparently these don't have too many polygons to them, or like triangles, I mean. Yeah, anyways, the way this is supposed to be solved is that, you know, you'd enter like the room, kind of like look around where you're supposed to go. Might notice that thing, but it's too high up, and even if you were to try and jump from here, you wouldn't be able to reach it, and if you try to bring the cube up on the ceiling while riding this, you would get crushed. So you just kind of I don't know, press R to enter the mode, brings up the arm with like this compass to show, like, you know, which way is W for, because the way you would move the blocks around is E and Q for up and down, W is forward, backward, left and right, you know, WASD. So those get locked when you press like R to enter that mode, so you can't move during it. Anyways, you'd like bring it up with E, then let's imagine that wall is W, so S, Q, A, E, W, Q. Then you'd temporarily press R to exit out of that mode. You'd jump on the block. Also the fact that I got the jump height adjusted, it feels nice. Feels like I'm in space, which is cool. Anyways, get on the block, make sure that you're on this square and not this square, and then you enter the mode again to bring up the arm, and then you press E, and then it brings you here, and then you can get out of the mode. And yeah, the way I was thinking again, like, since those zones would be kind of like loaded in and out, that if you interact with movable objects in this room, in the other rooms or chambers, they wouldn't be affected. So yeah, I had to figure that sort of stuff out. Not sure how kind of like the immersion stuff would work, like if you decide to, oh well, let's try and go back, you know, and then suddenly like this room has been reset because it got unloaded and then loaded back. That wouldn't matter too much, but actually that wouldn't matter at all. So yeah, anyways, it's like I'm really happy with this, like that one is able to do so much with so little, and just in general, like when the idea of the game is like, it's simplistic enough. You have to move these blocks around whilst also getting yourself into the next chamber. I know I was originally going to add multiple objects, but it's like clear and evident that exporting these works fine. It's just that I ran into that small hiccup with trying to figure out like why my assets weren't like emitting any light. So I had to create like these new materials inside of Unity. Luckily the materials, like they didn't have any textures or anything fancy on them. Just like adjusting the, let me bring it up, like how metallic or smooth it is, and then I could experiment with these sort of stuff inside of the engine. I'm pretty sure I set it to 95, but yeah, it's gonna be great. Once I get these blocks to move, that's when the reflection probe will like become even more important to like see how to get right. Yeah, not much to add here on this video, but this has been technically my first ever devlog. I'll have to probably upload this on YouTube for real, even though this is for school course. Actually, should this be at 100? Yeah, it's like, it depends. Let's keep it at 100% for now. Nah. Yeah. It's like I'm already having so much fun experimenting with this. Alright.